Winterspell is almost upon us. On this week's episode of the Uninkable Dads, we bring you what's hot and what's not from the newly revealed cards. But before we get into that, it's a triple Uninkable Dads episode tonight. It's our absolute pleasure to be joined tonight by a great friend of ours, an Uninkable Dad in his own right, one of the nicest human beings on the planet, and the best Lorcana player not to win a set champs. It's Tom Corrigan. How you doing?
Teed him up, knocked him back down again.
I know, you said loads of great things. That's not a knockdown. That's fantastic. Oh my God, thank you so much, Glenn. Hello, Michael. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome.
But I feel like your regular listeners are going to be upset if you don't slag off Michael in your first opening link. So have you got something to say?
Would I ever do that? Would I ever do that? I'll just simply say that guiding us through the Lorcana meta as always, the man everyone turns to for a rules check or some deck building advice, the second best Lorcana player in his family, local legend, and my co-host, it's FPSMadness.
Yeah,
how you doing, sir?
This weekend, anyway. So
that feels right. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take that. You know, you can't win them all.
Cool. We'll have a chat about your set champs run in a minute. I do want to start the episode tonight with a shout out to a very special young lady from our Friday night locals. So one of our under 16s who is absolutely passionate about Lorcana and loves to build a spicy deck. Not only did Pops go 3-0 and win Friday night, she did it by beating the three best players at locals. We can actually get a rundown on how well she played because two of them are here. But, you know, absolutely awesome. So if you're on Instagram, do check out Disney Pops Dan. So another Uninkable Dad, Dan, and Poppy, who put a lot of great content down there. But yeah, she's really passionate about her Lorcana, and it's absolutely awesome to see her doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, she played absolutely unbelievably. It was what was it? It was the Archaea deck, wasn't it? It was blue, amber, sapphire, and yeah. Funny enough, when you get some daisies and some manas and some other bits that quest for 3 and 4 and 5, it's quite difficult to stop.
Don't make excuses for her. Don't be like, oh, she only won because she put these things down. That's literally how the game works. She absolutely
this is true.
Ran through us.
This is very true.
I played my first game next to you guys playing your first game, and I was taking photos. I was sharing them in the group. You won't believe this. Michael's getting absolutely torn apart. Come on, Pops. And then I drew her in the second game.
And in the third game, she then played Panos, who's a good friend of the channel, been on here before, recent set champs winner. And just the terrified look as she walked over to his table, you know, with this deck of absolute spice.
Yeah. Panos, who I don't think played anyone older than 11 across the entire day, by the way.
No, I don't think he did. I think he drew all the kids that night, didn't he?
Yeah. He's got his corner of Geek Retreat is basically like Santa's grotto. he just sits there and waits for the children to turn up.
We usually have at least 3 under 16s our locals, and that's been fun the last few weeks since Ravensburger switched all the under 16 names to user 123 something. So you instantly know you're playing one of the kids, which is instant terror because you now know the aggro that's coming. But neither you or them actually have any idea of which one you're playing.
It's like you're playing against the Borg.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, can I just say at this moment, what an incredible community there is at. Can we name check the particular place?
We can.
You said it already.
Yeah. We
Chelmsford Geek Retreat, the Lorcana meta, and the people that turn up to that community are so great, and I think it's such a testament to a lot of the people that I can say this as an Uninkable Dad. None of the kids there are patronised. None of them. They all do very well. Everyone's treated very evenly, and I don't know. I feel like the guys at Ravensburger would have had that kind of a community in mind when they come up with the game. So I credit to everyone at Geek Retreat Chelmsford for everyone who takes part there for kind of encouraging that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Sorry, can we go back to taking the mick out of Michael now? I said something.
Said something nice. This isn't right. What's going on?
Well, you mentioned Michael. It was Set Champs weekend this weekend, and almost
It was.
champion Matt winning one. So I know you both played in different Set Champs, but FPSMadness, I believe you attended Set Champs along with Mrs FPSMadness.
I did,
So-
yeah. We went down to one together, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It's one I've been to before, so I know roughly what we're likely to see there and bits and bobs. But yeah, I mean, both did very well. We managed to come away with a Set Champs card. The Mrs. might have finished above me. She might have finished second, and I come third. But there's no prizing for second or third, so it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing, isn't it? Really, but if you're not first, then unfortunately we don't get the rest. So
You
do
sound
wanna-
weirdly bitter about that, I've got to say.
no,
Well-
she didn't play extremely well. In fairness,
Well, she did. I mean, do you want to take us through your run? Maybe start with your round one and
yeah.
who you played and
I mean,
how that went.
round one, I sat down opposite this. So this deck, I knew this deck inside out. I sat down and I went, I feel like I know this deck. And then I realised I'm playing my other half. So when you're, playing a deck that you built, it's I had an advantage and she beat me. So I went into that game.
Wow.
knowing
Can't even
every
give her
card
the
in her
credit for
deck.
building the deck. Did you hear that, Glenn? Unbelievable.
Uh,
You
No,
get beaten
this-
by your wife and you can't just give the glory away.
no. I built the deck. It was my deck. No, she did it, like I say, she did really well with it. And we changed it up slightly to deal with dogs because we were worried about dogs being an issue. So we put in like more lower down stuff. So obviously the Tinkerbell and the Vanellope come in to try and help with that. But unfortunately, one of her reigns, the only game she lost all day was a mirror. And they had built it more for the high-end game, so it had like the damage move bell in it. It barely had any one-drops. I think it was only running 6, so it was more teed into late game. So unfortunately, she got a really good start, but then he just managed to close it out. But yeah, he went on to win. So the only game she lost to was the winner himself. So
What about in thinking you didn't have a knockout for
no,
this?
it was only Swiss. It's in a store that has to close at a certain time. So unfortunately, they can only do 4 rounds of Swiss. But
So what do you
it's one
reckon
of
would
those
have happened if they'd gone to a cut? Like, do you think?
If they'd gone to a cut, I would have ended up playing. I think I would have had Green Blue, which was the guy that I beat earlier. So I don't think that would have been an issue. And Caroline would have had Blue Steel, which from her record of Blue Steel, she's pretty much won every single game versus Blue Steel. So I would have liked to hope that she would have had a good chance there. So, and then depending on how I do and the other guy does, she might have met the other guy in the final again. But yeah, it's one of those ones with top card, and it's difficult to work out because of the percentages and stuff. It's
So, but you were nothing but consistent. So, you
Yep.
spoke about your tournament runs previously. So lose round 1, and then win every round from there.
pretty much, yeah. No, I think this seems to be my tactic that I did not decide is my tactic. That I lose round 1 and win off. I can't get rid of it. I've tried, and for some reason did the same thing. Lost round 1, won the next 3. Unfortunately, when it's only 4 rounds of Swiss, it doesn't really help. Like I said, if it was a top cut, it would have been all right. But yeah, unfortunately, not so much.
Maybe next Set Champs you need to sit down and play a game just before the start and
That's
pretend
a
it's
good idea.
pretend it's
Such a
round
good
1.
idea.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. We've got one Saturday, so I'm going to sit on my phone in the corner on live testing and play a game and purposely throw it so I lose, and then hopefully I'll win the rest.
It's like pancakes. The first one you make is always really rubbish.
This is true. Yeah,
Get that out. Get that out of your system.
yeah, maybe. We'll test it Saturday, see what happens.
I
If
also
I
like
then
the
go on to
idea
lose
of
more than one, it means I can blame you then. So
Yeah.
I like the idea of FPS sitting there with a frying pan, flipping his cards.
Yeah, that lovely goofy legendary. Get that in.
nah, you're the only one who runs Enchanted without double sleeving, so we know we'll be safe there.
Hey, if they're depreciating in value as quickly as Card Market says, then I think we should all just be playing them.
This is true.
Awesome.
So I actually have, before we move on, I actually have a little bit of a surprise for you. So I have reached out to not a Set Champs winner, but a DLC winner. And we actually have Fungus or James's Uninkable Dad soup. So I reached out to him and he come back to us, and his soup, if he could be any soup, he would be chili soup.
Oh, what's chili soup? I'm sorry. What?
Spicy.
Spicy soup?
He wants his chili con carne in a
Pure
bowl. Is that what
chili.
you're saying?
I guess so. I mean, you eat chili out of a bowl anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
On a plate.
I mean, you might as well say gravy. It's not like.
Hey, leave my gravy alone. There's nothing wrong with gravy.
Can I just say, before we move on, I really appreciate that you didn't delve too much into my Set Champs of the weekend. Because I reckon my wife's never held a Lorcana card in her life, and if she turned up, she probably would have done better than me. Not a good show.
We can go back and talk about
We
it.
can
if you
do.
want.
No.
If you feel like it's something you need to get off your chest.
Oh,
Tom, thank you very much for joining us this evening. So as we said earlier, you are also an uninkable dad.
yes.
But what brought you into Lorcana?
So I play a lot of Warhammer. Warhammer's my entry level fandom, geekdom, if you will. I played a Warhammer tournament in last summer, and I won it, and I got a voucher, a store voucher. And the next time I went into the store, I was with my kids, and I saw Gateway. Is it called Gateway? The entry starter thing. And I'd played like Magic and stuff when I was at school, but I've never been like good at trading card games, and I know what a tax it can be. It's not a cheap game, is it? So I've always been a bit sort of hesitant about getting into TCGs, and fundamentally, there's no one else sort of near me who I'd play regularly with. So I'm like, I saw Lorcana, I knew it had a good reputation, and with my kids, I was like, if I get this, will you? I mean, it sounds so sad. I've never said this out loud. I literally said, if I buy this, will you play with me? And they were like, maybe. And that was enough. I was like, great. Better to buy that could be an investment to a big new thing for me and my daughters than just buy more plastic models to paint at home or not leave unpainted at home. Like Gateway's such a phenomenal product. I presume a lot of people have bought it just because of it's got a full bounce package in there. It's got decent, it's got pretty good, decent cards in it at the time. Me and my daughter Millie, we played a fair bit. And one day I managed to persuade her to come to our local event to play some games. And like I said before, we got such a great community there. We were both hooked, and I'm just such an enormous fan of the game. I think it's tremendous. I think so many things beyond like the gameplay are really great. Like lots of people talk about the inking mechanic and stuff, but I don't know. The IP is so strong that you've got such a emotional attachment to most of the cards and the characters.
Yeah,
and little things like the design, the layout, the cards look really. Every card looks spectacular in a way that I don't think Magic could necessarily say, and the less said about Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the better. They're hideous. And even Pokemon, like Pokemon puts weird numbers and symbols in random places, and you're like, what am I looking at here? So you asked how I got into Lorcana, and now I've told you, I've given you my TED talk on why Lorcana is a good game, and I assume if people are listening to this, they already know that. So,
is Disney a big thing in your household then? Was it Disney that sort of?
I mean, isn't it big in every household? Like, it's sort of, yeah. Like,
I think so.
Everyone,
in one way or another, it is, isn't it?
Well, I think everyone's got their thing, haven't they?
Mm.
Like, I love a lot of the classics. I'm a big Hero 6 fan. But yeah, yeah, it's massive in our home. Obviously, we went through the frozen period that every family of daughters has had to do.
Yeah, there's some exciting frozen cards coming out for next set. I bet they're going to be asking you, oh, you got to get this one. You got to get the shiny one.
In fact, am I right in thinking this group here, we're not just Uninkable Dads, we're Uninkable Girl Dads?
I do have one, but yeah.
Well, close.
2 girls and 1 boy, so technically.
It's weighted in Frozen's favour. But thank you for trying to get us back on message with the new Frozen cards, Michael. Yes, there's lots of great new cards. People are like, I want FPSMadness to take on the new Moana card. Stop talking about this.
So we will get to the new cards in a second. But this is the Uninkable Dads podcast. As you said, we all play this game with and against, and usually losing to little ones. But how have you found playing Lorcana as an Uninkable Dad?
Losing.
But generally as a dad, turning up to, although there are a lot of we have kids at the locals, it's mainly adults, isn't it? Let's be fair, it's mainly adults, and certainly when we go away to set champs, it's mainly adults. Even when you do have the kids, they're kind of running off all over the shop together. So how do you just find that focusing on a card game and being a dad at the same time?
I would say so. My daughter who plays it, Millie, she's 12, and I would say this as a thing came at such a great time in terms of her transitioning into secondary school, her like growing up and trying to bond with her with one thing that we're both really passionate about. Like I'll be forever grateful for that. But also, I think a lot of people have spoken in the past about how TCGs and a lot of gaming communities, they're really good social catalysts. And I'm just very grateful that it's helped her confidence with talking to new people. We went to Michael and I and some other people, we went to Axion last year together. She came with us, played the full grown-up tournament, quite an intimidating place. Not the same, welcoming, colourful gaming place. But I've never been more proud of her than her, going to tables, having full-on conversations and engaging games with a range of strangers, essentially. And, I'll be very grateful for Lorcana for giving us that.
Yeah, I think it does, doesn't it? It's one of those ones of, like anything, you can try and put them in a situation where they've got to openly talk to adults and make a conversation. But when you have to sit down, you have to tell them what you're doing. That's what you are doing. But for them, they just feel like they're just talking about the game. They're not having to come up with conversation as such. But yet they're still having to sit there and go, I play this, I ink this, I do this. And then before you know it, 5 minutes into that game, they start to then loosen up and it does. Like you say, it helps their confidence in general. She's only been playing, 8 months or so? And I know, obviously, she's 8 months older, but she's just more confident in that environment. And then, like you say, you take them to these big events, and that has a knock-on effect. It still continues even there.
She's great, and such an aptitude for the game as well. like and mechanics and things. Like just getting basic strategy, knowing to be able to have the vocabulary to understand the difference between an aggro deck and a control deck, and recognize what cards are good for both and stuff. Like, yeah, it's great. And I've got to say again, huge amount of gratitude to the community and all the other players that give people like Millie and any of our kids the time and the patience to help them through their decisions, or like talk them through stuff. And like I said earlier, never patronizing. Like everyone's very respectful to everyone, and ultimately everyone just wants to get a good game out of it, don't they?
Absolutely. Still one of my favourite moments from Set Champs. Played Millie, and she was playing Amber Amethyst, and been a tight couple of games. She'd run away with one game, I won the other game. So deciding game, I was playing Amethyst Steel. I've got to a point where I can challenge her board down to nothing. She's on 18 lore, one card in hand. I can play out a Pete, but if I do that, I can't win the game next turn. Or I can play something, play a couple of cards out, and then I can win the game next turn. And I'm like, one card in hand. The only card that can win the game is Gathering Knowledge. She's a kid. She's a kid. She's not holding on to Gathering Knowledge. If she had it in her hand, she's played it, right? So I don't play the Pete. I play something else. She sits there. She's very calm as well. Body language, very, very calm. And as soon as I didn't play the Pete, she was like, yeah. She puts it. And I just
terrible.
Well played. Well played. When did you have it? She said, I had it in my opening hand.
Wow.
And I was like, absolute kudos. And then she went and got me Curly Whirly as a consolation prize for being beaten. One of my absolute favourite moment from Set Champs.
Wow. Okay. Now who's the one being patronised?
Yeah.
That's really lovely to hear, because
Bless her, it was wonderful.
That was the one sort of karate kid like learning that we were trying to drum in all the time, was like, stop being in a rush to play that. That's got no value other than a closer. It's your last resort to play it. So I'm really glad that kind of locked in. I feel compelled to say, Glenn, I made her deck.
So what you're saying, you beat Glenn? Or...
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if she beat you, I
you
did build her deck. So
yeah.
But thanks for sharing that story. That's great.
Right. And one other question before we go and have a look at some shiny cards that are coming out, is if you were a soup, what soup would you be?
Now, I'm very passionate about this question. I think it's a great question, and I don't think you boys get enough credit for this question, because it's there to reveal some sort of biographical insight into the person you ask it. And I get very annoyed when you ask that to some people and they basically answer, what's your favourite soup? And I'm screaming on my commute when people go, oh, I don't know, I like this soup. And you're like, well, that's not what they asked. Anyway, rant over. I have one of those personalities where I feel like for anyone that sort of likes me, there's probably like 50 people that hate me, or I annoy like more people than I don't. So in that way, I feel like I'm a lot like coriander, which is some people love it, some people hate it, and so for that reason, I'd say carrot and coriander soup.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Marmite for a second there.
Yeah. Can I put it in a bowl? That's what James Gray would say.
Yeah, Marmite or Bovril. You can have cup of soup. There you go. And technically,
cup of soup. Yeah.
No.
Oh, that'd be his favorite. That should be his favorite. Oh no, it's in a cup. It's not in a bowl. What am I
Carrot and coriander.
Has anyone asked you, lads, what you'd be?
We did the.
We did do ours, didn't we?
because mine was gravy, wasn't it? But again, I get what you mean, because we did kind of do what soup we would pick via like what your favourite soup is almost.
Oh, hang on. So you're admitting that you can't even answer the question right on your own show?
I don't think I did.
It's a good job I edit this, really, isn't it? Yeah, no. Well, maybe we'll save that for the year. We'll have a rethink on it.
Yeah. Next time, I'll come armed with my own answer for the both of you.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what you come up with on that one.
Sure.
So just tee yourself in, make sure you come back. Yeah.
By the way, I'm just grateful that I've got a chance to sort of have my own say, because the only other times that I've been vaguely mentioned on your podcast are first time was he painted this Mickey, but it's chipping, so he's probably done it wrong. Second time was about how proud you were that you baited me into putting my hand on the board when you played Beep. And then the other one was like 2 weeks ago when you're like, some idiot played Rattigan without anything to win to stop him going. And gratefully you didn't mention my name. Oh no, I think maybe you did mention my name, but regardless,
yeah, well,
I've got a chance to get my own back.
We were teeing you up, you see. We knew we'd have you on, so tee you up. Yeah,
we love you, Tom. So
yeah, and that man came 24th at the set champs at Brotherhood Games on Sunday.
What was that? 24 people? Or?
I don't mind it.
We love you, really, Tom. So
can I just say, that's
community.
kind of you to say, but no one's listening to this, are they? They're all skipping to the card reveals. No one's listened to any of this.
The real hardcore community are here. So show Tom some love in the comments.
No, I'll tell you what, if you have reached this point and you are listening, put gravy in the comments just to prove that you're still listening.
Yeah. It's going to really confuse some people, though, isn't it? They're just going to scroll down to the comments and just see gravy and they'll be like, what on earth is going on?
Was gravy revealed in the new Winterspell? How'd that worked out?
Have you put gravy on your new Lorcana cards?
Gravy OP.
So we have got a few reveals that have come out from yesterday's Winterspell Lorecast. So the theme of this set was that Elsa's basically frozen the place. She's frozen the Illuminary. That's the idea of why everything's frozen. You can see it on some of the characters' faces. They look a bit confused on why things are frozen. And that's kind of why. So obviously we got Freeze Divine here, which is a 4-cost action in Emerald. Banish all locations, draw 2 cards, then choose and discard a card. So banish all locations, draw 2, discard 1. It's okay.
That's spenny. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
If that was a song as well, I think it might be playable, because at worst case you just draw and discard. But yeah, I'm not sure. Unless locations really, really pick up this set, I don't see that massively seeing loads and loads of play. So do you want to read out Winterspell?
Yeah, so Winterspell, 1-cost action. Says that the chosen location of yours can't be challenged until the start of your next turn. Draw a card. So there we go. You've got a location down, you play this, it can't be challenged, but Freeze the Vine would banish it.
Not had a cantrip for a while, have we? No, I was just thinking that. Especially in Steel as well. It's, worst case scenario, like you say, it just replaces itself. So... But talking about location, we do have one new location revealed, which is the Frozen Vine. So this is a 3-cost 1 to move there, 4 willpower, quest for 2. And it has the ability, when this location is banished, if there was an exerted character here, return this card from your discard to your hand. So it's kind of bounce, but not at the same time. So it goes to your discard first, then back to your hand. If I'm reading that right.
When it's banished, if there was an exotic character here, return it. Okay, yeah, so it banishes, goes into your discard, but then it comes back
and then
into
comes
your hand.
back.
You think about it, you've got to spend 4 ink for that to be relevant.
Yeah. And it doesn't
And
really
4
do much.
willpower, that's not going to last long on the board. You know,
Not
at least
in the current.
And your opponent's got to choose to hit into this rather than hit into the exerted character.
Yeah.
one thing I will say, I feel like 80% of my games, we're in a bit of a stalemate developing our boards, and this is, you know, you've got to start. You can't let your opponent get 2 law free every turn. So
Yeah, that is a way of drawing people out and make them exerting characters. It's what McDuck used to do, wasn't it? It was obviously McDuck with the 9 willpower was obviously a lot stronger, but it's the same concept. If you put this to board, they're going to have to answer at some point. If they decide to leave it for 10 turns, you win. So, and then the one that seems to go quite well with this. I don't know if this would work in Ruby Amethyst, but it's a Ruby Elsa, which I can't think of many Ruby Elsas off the top of my head.
it looks wrong, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So this is a 6-cost 5/5 floodboard, so shift 4. When you play this character and whenever you play a location, you can exert a chosen character of 3 strength or less. So on her play and whenever you play a location, you can exert something. And second ability is while this character is at a location, she gets +3 law. So, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, we want some really cheap 1-cost locations to go with this. So that way you can shift this on 4 and then play a location, move it, and quest for 4. But I don't know. I feel like they're teeing us up for something here. I feel like there should be some strong locations potentially coming out, but obviously they're holding back on at the minute. But
I mean, there's so much going on in that card. Yeah, it feels like you're gonna have to play that a few times before you sort of truly understand its use. I reckon.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just tired.
I think the artwork's interesting on this. It just instantly reminded me of bloody K-pop Demon Hunters. Just straight away. At least you saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that just reminds me of Demon Hunters."
Yeah. It's giving Remy. Remy?
Yeah.
Is Remy the right word? Have I said that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one characters.
We'll go with that.
I think it's Rumi because I do remember when that was first on. I thought they were saying Rumi as in roommate. My roommate. No, her name.
Remy, of course, is a Disney character from Ratatouille.
This is also very true.
Yet to be seen.
So up next is a hamster. Yeah, I mean, it's an alien hamster. So it's a 6-cost Dr. Hamsterville 5/5 quest for 2. It has an ability for each alien character card in your discard, you pay 1 less to play this character. I mean, you've got to build a pretty solid alien deck to get this to really work, right? I mean, you're going to need a few of them.
Yeah,
I mean, the next
really
card will help, but second ability is when you play this character, chosen opposing character can't challenge during the next turn. So that's got, I think it's John Silver's ability, where they can't challenge. Yeah, I'm not sure on this one.
I mean, it definitely feels like your discard's getting more and more relevant with a lot of these cards. I mean, I know certainly a lot of our favourite card so far in the set has got a massive interaction with the discard, and maybe this is, this is where this set is sort of broadly going.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The thing is, there's probably a lot more aliens than we actually realise as well. That's the thing. Because I remember when Stitch came out with if you've got an alien on board, you can you can do something with it if you've got an alien. I think there's actually quite a few more aliens than we realise. I mean, Gantu is obviously a big one. There was multiple Gantus, including obviously this new one, which was the 1-cost 3/3 quest 1. Nice, easy ability. When you play this card, you discard a card. That feels very, very negative for turn 1. Most of the time, you want to be drawing a card on turn 1 if you can, not discarding one. But
Yeah,
I mean, I suppose you sacrifice it for a 3/3 body, though.
Yeah, I compare this to Bell, because effectively Bell, you've got to pop an item, so you're effectively losing a card to then play Bell in.
Bell was good though because she was a free cost though.
It's Bell without the
she
middleman.
could sing.
Yeah.
And Bell was good because you could play Popsicle, which replaced itself. So, yeah, so it's different. As you say, I don't, 3/3 on 1 feels like a power creep, but with the downside of discarding card, it feels reasonably balanced.
Still dies to a Captain Hook. Still dies to a Rafiki.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not a
opposing
revolutionary
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So the next card, I think we're a bit split on. So I'll let you read this one, Glenn.
So this is a 2-cost action song. Keep the ancient ways. So opponents can't play actions or items until the start of your next turn. So this is a lock. You play this on 2. You can sing this with a 2-cost character, and then your opponent cannot play any actions or items, so they can literally quest or challenge. That is it until the start of your next turn. So I think this has real potential to be quite meta-defining. So I say that because it's in the same colour as Pete, who also locks your opponent from playing actions till the start of your next turn. And it could potentially be pulled back by something like a Max Goof or a Maui Shark, and then played over and over again. So there's a potential that you could build this into a deck that can lock your opponent from not being able to play any actions, at least. So forget the items part of it for now, because Pete obviously only does actions, but this and Pete potentially could lock your opponent out from playing actions for several turns on the trot. I just think that is very powerful.
Yeah, I find this a bit awkward because the 2 decks you instantly went to is Green Steel and Ruby Steel, which neither of them currently are seeing much play. But I just don't see it. I mean, how many Pete's are out there in decks at the minute? Pete's not even a 4 of index currently, so I don't know. Obviously, if we get loads and loads of actions where this becomes really important, one place I can see this being really good is in Infinity. This in Steel Song will be extremely good because you've got the 1-cost Indeed Cygnus on 2, while you're still developing your board and continuing on, but you're stopping their 1-cost Cindy from taking out yours, or you're stopping that. And in a mirror, it would be the first one to play this would probably win, because you'd play this on 2 or even 1. Not on 1, sorry, on 2 or 3, followed then by Pete, and then you're locking a Steel Song deck out for multiple turns. But I don't know. I don't see it currently.
If this was printed before rotation, it would have drawn a card. I think it feels like that's the thing that's missing on it. Sort of when will my life begin?
Yeah.
Like those sort of here's a, not a crazy influence on the board song, but you don't, it will cost you a card in your hand. That feels too.
Yeah, I think the fact is the song saves it. If it wasn't a song, I don't think it would see play at all. But with the song ability, it has a chance. It's one of those ones later game, you'll probably find it's more impactful than it is early. But I don't know. I just can't. I mean, why not just play Pete instead? He's a 3/3 as well. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I don't see it currently. Obviously, once we get a few more cards revealed, it might be a different story. But currently, I think it's a might be a little bit slow.
So what is it? Is this Pocahontas as well? We got going on there.
Yeah, it's got to be right. I haven't seen the film in so long, I wouldn't actually be able to tell you.
Let us know in the comments. But yeah, I would have said that looks like a scene from Pocahontas. It's fantastic that we've got these new franchises coming in as well.
Yeah, totally,
absolutely brilliant.
We don't need another genie. Oh wait, hang on a minute.
You can.
We
never
don't
get
need
too
another
many
overpowered
genies.
genie
Knew
card.
what you were gonna say. So yeah, go on. I'll let Glenn run us through Genie as it's his favourite character.
It is indeed. So this genie is a magical researcher. He's a storyborn ally whisper. A 3-cost inkable 3/4 with the boost mechanic. So can boost for 1 and increasing wisdom. This character gets +1 lore for each card under him. So beautiful genie artwork on a pretty uninspiring card, to be honest.
Uninspiring. What?
I don't know. I don't think
He's
it's
got to
too
sit
bad.
around. So you can only boost. Well,
You can boost him
once
on
per
turn you
turn.
play him. You play him on 4.
Play him on 4. Boost him for 1.
Next
He's a
turn,
3,
boost him
4.
for 1, and then he's a 3. And then there is a card. Obviously, we know there are cards that can boost things outside of the boost ability on the card itself as well.
Yeah, I guess that would be the thing. If you can boost him multiple times in turn.
I don't think you'll ever really see him play on 3. I think this is more of a finisher. This is one of those ones where you've got the opportunity to play this and potentially boost it, and then next turn do a couple more boosts to it, and before you know it, you're questing for 4 or 5, and you can finish a game. But
also, boost 1 is so good. Like we all play our fair share of Ursula. That you always find a time when you've got 1 ink just to chuck underneath.
yeah. Yeah, especially with the amount of stuff that bounces stuff back to hand as well. If you're boosting this a couple of times and their only way of dealing with it is to either put it in your ink or send it back to your hand, then you're either gaining cards or gaining ink there as well.
Let me put this out there. Into the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. But again, I just think, Gantu quest for 4 doesn't see play.
Also, a little bit off topic. You can tell they're printing too many genie cards when the amount they have to stretch for the secondary text. Magical researcher, like that is so far removed from anything Aladdin related. I don't know. He works in a library.
That's very true. I mean, he is in the
also
library.
no flavour
isn't he?
text.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't fit it. They had to explain what Boost 1 was to us. This is obviously the first time we're seeing Whisper cards without the Whisper border as well. So we did get a couple of Boost cards revealed beforehand, but they weren't Whispers. They were just straight up Boost. So we assumed that the Whispers would still have the border, whereas this one doesn't.
That's a great observation. How do you feel about that?
I like the Whisper. I think it's nice. I think it adds something to it, especially the foil ones. The foil Whispers look stunning.
Yeah, I thought it was only good just to justify how great the 4 ones looked.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I think let's say it's not going to be a 4 of in any deck, but I think it potentially, especially in something like Blurple, you've got so much ink anyway. You may as well just, slide a card under. The other one we have is it Ruben?
That's Ruben.
Sandwich Expert. So he's a 2-cost, 1 free, and his ability Special Lunch. So you can exert Ruben, remove 2 damage from chosen character of yours. For each 1 damage removed this way, you play 1 less ink for the next character you play. It's a conditional lantern. Yeah. It seems a bit weird. It's remove 2 damage, pay 2 less, but I don't know.
So you've got to have the 2 damage on another character. You've then got to tap him, so you're sacrificing 1 lore effectively. to pay 2 ink less for the next character.
Also, 1/3 for a 2-cost character. 2 costs. Most people, you want to put down something that's a little bit of a bully, don't you? You want to put down a Calhoun or a Diablo or a Black Heron.
Yeah,
another
if this was on
character,
Quest, it might be alright. But the fact you can't even quest with it is like you can either pay 2 less for something else, or it's like, why not just don't pay the 2 ink for this in the first place? Save yourself 2 ink. Play something else. Play Calhoun.
Also, who cuts a loaf of bread that way? These are like, those aren't sandwiches. Those are full loaves that he's cut straight down the middle.
This is very true.
Ruben's a greedy little piggy.
So while we're talking about boost, next 2 are, I think, 2 cards that could potentially see play in green. But the issue is, again, green currently isn't massively out there. I mean, we could potentially see Emerald and Amethyst coming in. Draw cards and stick some cards under some others, especially with the cat ability for Donald. But before we do that one, we've got Goofy. So he's a 4-cost, uninkable, 4/4 quest for 2. His ability, when this character is banished, each opponent chooses and discards a card for each card under him, and he's a boost 2. So if you play him on 6, you could boost him once. If they take him out, they've got to discard a card. Doesn't seem great, but when you pair it with the 4-cost inkable Donald Duck, which is a 4/4, whenever you use a boost ability of a character, you may put the top card of your deck face down, also under them. So basically, you pay 2 to boost Goofy, and Donald would also stick another card under him. So you're putting 2 under there. This is going to have some very interesting things with Cat and potentially the Ursula. I mean, the Ursula's not too bad. Once it's boosted, it's boosted. You've also obviously got the Genie from the last one. If you boost it for 1, it boosts itself again. And then you boost it again for 1, and it boosts itself again. So before you know it, that quests for 5 very quickly.
And Donald's second ability here sort of plays into Goofy as well. So during opponent's turns, whenever one of your other characters is banished, you may draw a card for each card that was under them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's great.
So your opponent's going to discard 2 cards, potentially, if you've boosted... you boosted Goofy once, and you've got 1 under him from Donald, so your opponent then banishes Goofy. They discard 2 cards, you draw 2 cards. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
want to run him with that Genie.
Yeah. Yeah, the Genie could be really good as an option. So you play Donald on 4, you play Genie down on 5, boost him for 1, and he secondary boosts himself for 2. And if they decide to remove it, you draw 2 cards anyway.
I mean, what effectively a long way about it, but like 1 ink to draw 1 card is great value.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it awkward as well, because if they've only got a couple of options of how to get rid of things, they're going to need to take the Donald out first if they don't want you drawing cards.
Oh my God, I've just forgot the purpose of Donald Duck. It's not 1 ink to draw 1 card, it's 1 ink to draw 2 cards if you're running like a boost 1.
Yeah, because it boosts itself and then Donald boosts it as well.
Is Donald Duck our Cindy? Our Diablo? Is this the chase card?
If we get some really good boosts, potentially. At the minute, I don't think so. This is more Hades. This is, it's going to work occasionally, but not all the time. Sometimes it's going to draw you cards and sometimes it won't.
I think Donald would be happy with that, Donald's like, you compared me to Hades? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might do. Okay, so as we can see, Grandad Glenn is parked up outside Set Champs, waiting to go. He's so desperate, he just can't wait for the Tinkerbell. He's there a whole 3 months early, parked up outside. Unfortunately, part of being an uninkable dad, you got to do the midnight school run, like everyone does. So yeah,
this is mad. It's 11 p.m.
It's 11 p.m.
Glenn, you're 8 hours too late.
A little bit late. I'm looking out and not seeing many kids waiting. But no, the little one's been up in London, taking part in a concert. So, yes. So all the joys of being told to be somewhere at a certain time, and then getting a message to say, "By the way, you're early. We're not going to be there yet." So we get
So
to
Uninkable
chat
Dads
about
fans,
Tinkerbell.
Uninkable Dads fans, nothing will get in the way of these boys delivering you top quality content.
But I also might need, to be that early for set champs to, make sure I've got my head on to win this Tinkerbell, because it does look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it does. It does. So anyone that's obviously on the audio version on Spotify and stuff, we are talking about the Tinkerbell free cost Snowflake Collector. So she is a free quest for one, but she does have two abilities that make her a bit more powerful. So the first one, Flurry of Delight. While you have 4 or more cards in hand, this character gains Evasive. Yeah, not bad. I mean, there's a decent chance you having 4 or more in hand. I'd like to say before rotation that was a lot higher, but it is possible. And the second one is while you have 7 or more cards in hand, this character gets +3 lore. That I don't see happening as often.
Yeah.
7's high for now. Like I say, pre-rotation, you get this on board, sing Whole New World, Quest for 4, but I don't see it at the minute. I can't really think of many decks that are running 7 cards in hand.
Do you know what? Can I just say I love low cost legendaries.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember, like double singing Ursula?
Yeah.
They're just, they feel, you can really feel the value, and you're probably more likely to play them, rather than hanging on to that 7 cost legendary that you want to play at some point in the game.
Yeah, I just don't know where on earth you can have 7 cards in hand. The evasive part, yes, 100%. I think you can get that quite easily. But, I mean, do we see this back in Blurple with multiple second stars again? You sing second star, all of a sudden you've got loads of cards in hand, quest for 4. I mean, it's one way of doing it, I suppose. I don't know whether it's a good way, but it's a way.
Do they print cards with infinity in mind?
They must do, right?
Because obviously the old Blurple is huge hand.
Mm. Well, like I say, my first thought was Jafar Wheel with this. You play this down, have this on board on 4, you shift Jafar next turn, Jafar sings Whole New World, gains as many as that does, and then you quest for 4 on top of that. So, Tink could work quite well in that deck. But they've got they must print stuff knowing that it's going to be good in Infinity. We do have an entire DLC that is going to be Infinity, so we need some decent cards that are coming out new that are going to affect the Infinity meta. Otherwise, it'll be very stale. But yeah,
beautiful.
That's quite broken in Jafar, actually, isn't it? When you think about it, because that's 11 lore.
Yeah.
On the one turn. And then Tinkerbell sort of, if you can't deal with Jafar and Tinkerbell,
which are both evasive,
yeah, you are potentially losing the next turn. Nice.
Yeah. Maybe that's the key. Jafar Wheel for Infinity.
Yeah, but like you want to play your low cost Jafars, though, don't you?
Yeah, but you got the 2 cost Jafar, don't you?
Got your 2 cost, you got your 3 cost, you got your 4 cost Dreadnought.
Yeah. What is Jafar? Is he a shift 5?
Shift 5, yeah.
Yeah, so you could play the 1, 2, the 2 and 3 cost. Play this on 4, shift Jafar on 5. Pretty much win the game in 1 turn. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Like I say, at the minute, I don't see 7 cards in hand being thinking about it. I mean, that involves your opponent having cards. I was going to say Clarabelle has a good chance of hitting this, but again, you gotta give your opponent a lot of cards to be able to trigger the 7. Potential. There's a few out there, but
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to be drawing 14 cards off my Donald Duck boosted genie.
This is true. This is true. So, leading up to probably so far one of the most powerful cards we've seen for this set. So we have the two iconic cards. So we have Pocahontas and Moana. Unfortunately, the art on this didn't come out perfect when I clipped it, so we'll look at the iconic versions. So we have Pocahontas, Peacekeeper. So she is a Floodborn, 5-cost, 3/6, quest for 2, and shift 3. And her ability is when you play this character, if you used shift to play her and none of your characters challenge this turn, characters can't challenge until the start of their next turn. So basically, as long as you haven't done any damage, nothing can do damage to you. Well, some can, I suppose, but nothing can challenge. I mean, this could be a bit scary with the whole Tiana and the Rapunzel, and it's like, how are we going to get rid of things? We just never get rid of anything.
Sorry, Coach.
Well, you'd have to do hard removal, wouldn't you? You'd have to do some direct damage, and which you're kitting out to 4 against Tiana anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, but the one that has caught quite a lot of people's attention is the Moana. So she is a 5-cost, 4/4 quest for 2, but her massive ability of ancestral legacy, you can ink cards from your discard. So we're finally getting to that point where discard management is going to be becoming more and more important. And now you can actually use your discard to fill your ink, which when you first read that doesn't seem that good. It's like, oh, it's okay. I can just, it's Great Stone Dragon on a character. But it's the fact of you can ink from your discard means that you can play a sail and then pick that sail up out your discard and put it into your ink. So you're no longer using cards out of hand. You can just straight away just use a sail and ink it. It also means that she is a princess and she triggers off Cindy. So we're waiting for a rules to explain this. But as far as I'm aware, you play this, end your turn, you'll be able to ink from your discard and draw a card into your hand. So yeah, this could be a massive tempo swing in blue. I mean, blue's ramp's always been really, really powerful. Now being able to do something like this where you don't even need to ink from hand anymore.
There are some mechanics in the game where, like, especially late game, where inking for free feels like drawing a card.
We just need a card now that costs 100 but says when you play this card you win the game. Blue will be fine, right?
I mean, I don't think we're that far off it, are we? Surely.
I will say though, when you do start to play cards like Namari or Giant Mickey or I guess Maui Shark, I don't play a lot of Maui Shark, but when you play decks or cards where it's relevant what's in your discard and how much is in your discard, you do sometimes realise, I think, you do have to work to get stuff in your discard.
Yeah.
It's not a given that your discard has got X number of cards in it.
No. The thing is, I think in blue this works so well because you do have cards like Develop Your Brain, Sail, Vision, all those low-cost actions that are naturally just going to find their way into your discard anyway. Obviously, characters are a bit more difficult because they have to be challenged off or you have to change it into something. But those low-cost actions that can just put themselves in there, could be an interesting one. We've got to wait on a rules check on this to see if it, they're going to say this can only be done as your ink for turn. Maybe come from your discard, but all other inks in that turn has to be as follows of the normal rules, or we don't know. They did say there will be a rules update on this because it leads such an open playing field to, you can sort of work this in any way you wanted. So we'll have to wait on that one. But yeah, so we have Moana and Pocahontas as iconics this set. So Mickey and Minnie, then we had Hades and Ariel, and now we've got Moana and Pocahontas. So I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's a nice touch, working the way through. Got two princesses. I'm highly, highly surprised it's not Elsa. The whole theme this set seems to be about Elsa freezing the Luminary, and we don't have an Elsa. But I suppose you do have to set one enchanted Elsa, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Moving on from there, we do have a little bit of news on the promos. So these are two promos which we're going to be looking out for. So the Stitch one, which is a 2-cost Stitch, 3/2, and he's, I believe it's just while you have a character named Lilo in play, he gains Challenger 3. Situational, but quite easily doable. He is going to be from Raffenberger events, so this is going to be things like the DLCs and stuff where you get given a promo for going. I think it was the Goofy or something at the time. There was an Amber card that you got. It'll also be like the one you could pick up at the Disney stores and stuff like that. So the Beast is the buy box promo. So when you buy a box, you get the promo Beast, which is a 2-cost 3/1 Rush. So we actually have a 2-cost Rush in Ruby. Whenever this character challenges, if he's at a location, he takes no damage from the challenge. So we're starting to see this location in Ruby becoming more and more vital. It seems to be they're really leading into it, and they really want to do something with the locations in there. It seems to be that's what that deck's going to be about. It's going to be locations. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we get any good locations to go with this. But I mean, a 3/1 surprise rush card's not bad. Unless you're going to put it in a location, potentially it's going to cost you 3 to play instead. But yeah, it's quite nice.
I love Ruby coming back to some of those like direct damage stealth cards. Things like Maui, the original hero to all. It's like their only purpose is to run in and hit something the turn you play it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I do like that Stitch. I've got to say, like, I'm seeing so many more of those Challenger 5 Iagos, and if you lose let's say for example, like a Cheshire Cat or a Demona to an Iago, it feels really bad, and I can see this Stitch getting a few scalps.
So it would work quite well with Amber Steel as well, wouldn't it? You got the 1-cost Lilo for Infinity. That makes this a 6/2 on turn 2. So
he'd laugh in the face at your Tiana.
Yeah. I don't worry about the Tiana attacks. I just challenge through it.
Yeah, give me your -3 damage, your -3 strength.
We've got a couple of cards that have, we've mentioned locations a couple of times. So, what do you think we need to see in a location in this set to suddenly really make locations relevant again?
I mean, will there ever be a McDuck Manor equivalent? Just a big statted, stick this down. Even if it's like a 5-cost, maybe a 6-cost, like a big fortress of a location.
I mean, possible. I mean, the thing is, McDuck was good because of B-Prep, right? McDuck was so powerful because you could B-Prep next turn double mana, and that's where it was an absolute nightmare to deal with. If they're playing it on board when you've got 3 or 4 characters down, half the time it's not actually that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, when I played Red Blue, I did play McDucks to get people to challenge into instead of questing, to slow them down to buy me time, but that wasn't what it was there for. It was there to be played after you B-Prep, so that way you're instantly applying the pressure, or even singing B-Prep and playing double mana. But I don't know. I don't know whether it'll be as good without the B-Prep. It might still be.
I sometimes feel like you're playing quite a bit in Namari these days. Sometimes when you get all that strength on Namari, you're thinking, what's the point in that? Like, this number doesn't mean anything anymore because there's nothing I'm going to hit more than 6 willpower.
Yeah, maybe carryover damage.
Ooh.
So every 2 over necessary damage, you can do 1 to something else. That'd be nice.
Is that trample? Is that a trample mechanic in Magic?
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah. I did play a little bit of the Magic Arena at one point. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Don't forget that John Silver's still about. The I'd love to see a location thing pop off.
Yeah, I think it has a chance. We just, like Glenn said, we need a decent location. I think something like a Ruby, almost like a Ruby champion, like you've got with the characters, but in a location where when you play a Ruby card, you can move it there for free or something like that, because that will really help. Because a lot of the time, the locations are so 3-4 costs that it's just too slow. If you're going to play that and then pay 2, 3, 4 ink to move things there at the same time, or a location that, like, when you play it, everything just moves there automatically. That could be a real impact turn. But
there's still really great, like, location-based cards that are about. That Goofy, still very strong. One location. Is there a location that any of you are like, I wish that was more playable than it is? And I say that with one in mind.
Queen's Castle for me.
Queen's Castle.
It's so good. You can play it down, and if they don't remove it or remove the characters in it, you draw cards at the start. Use that. It was
7 willpower feels just in your reach, though. I always find
that's the thing. If it was 8, I think it'd be good. But where it's 7,
I always want to get that submarine location sorted. The blue one, where you basically get to do a Detective Mickey every turn if something's on it.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously, if you're in blue, you just need more ramp at the moment.
Yes.
This is very true. But don't worry, you can play the Moana, and then that ramp will come out of your thing instead. So,
can we, for the benefit of anyone listening to this, not watching it, just acknowledge the incredible transition that Grandad Glenn has done from not only being at his school gates, but for driving back and then moving into his recording studio without any break.
See,
there we go. Thank you for covering me.
And I didn't even need to edit that either. Perfect. So we also have now. I want to get your thoughts on this because I'm not sure. And here I'm talking about the actual promos themselves, not what the card is. So don't worry about the Tyler or Timon, but the actual promo. What do you think on this new styling? This is the new, what you're going to call like the league promos as such. These are going to be the participation promos. Do you like the new gold borders, or is this too much?
I like it. I mean, if you're going to have a promo, make it different from, the standard card. This does feel maybe overkill for a league promo. Because you look at this card with the gold border and you think, oh, this is something really special. And then you realise it's, something that if you go see league on a regular basis, you're going to have 15 in your bag from just turning up. So, yeah, I don't know.
The current ones have got that deeper edges around them, haven't they? They've got the colours are slightly different, but yeah, I don't know. I quite like it. I think the reason they're doing this is for the security foil. So I believe the little gold foiling you see at the bottom is going to be a security foil, so that way you can clearly see and spot obviously fakes if anyone's making fake cards.
When Glenn's got 15 of these in his bag, who's nicking them?
Yeah.
Security on a £1.50 card, yeah.
The other thing as well is that the colour strip across the name thing is sort of simplified, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, before it's got aspects of what the colour is, hasn't it? Or the symbol. Whereas here it's just very simple. They're the same on every one. I don't mind it. I think it's all right. I think it's one of those ones of we'll have to wait and see what they look like in person. They might look better in person.
I worry about us heading into 2028, new set of Lorcana, and every deck has got 60 cards, and every one of them's got a different sort of styling going on. And
Yeah, that is the only thing that I think is an issue. It's like they just changed it, so the last set had different style, and it was quite nice. I don't think there was anything wrong with the promos for the last set, and it's now we're moving to this. It's like, are we going to get a different one for the next set and different one for the next set? It's like, I don't know. I'm not sure on it in that sense, because like you say, you're going to get to the point where you could have 4 in a deck, but every single one of those 4 is completely different.
Yeah, and we don't want to go down the Pokemon route of the. So is that a rare rainbow half foil hollow, or is that a half hollow rare rainbow foil? And 15 or 16 different types of rarity, which I know always means you've got something new to collect and look out for, but I think it can confuse things a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that issue to worry about in the UK now, do we? I think most of the collector stuff's US. We don't get anything.
But I think like it's a good point, Glenn, because I think one of the greatest innovations recently is Epics. Like Epics making, that just attainable like value card that is worth buying product for.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in a world where every card is a bit different, nothing really feels special.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the second question I got for you is how broken is Grandma Tyler? So we have a 12-cost uninkable 6/6 quest for 2, and her ability is for each card in your inkwell you pay 1 less to play this character. So she's in Sapphire, she's in blue, so the chances of you hitting 12 ink is high.
So she's pretty much free after turn 4, given what the amount of ramp we're saying is coming into Sapphire.
I mean, I'm glad she doesn't quest for 4 or 5 or something silly, because I think it would be just crazy. She's uninkable, so. But
I'm not putting that in my deck. That's silly.
I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, the thing is, we don't ink from hand anymore, you see. We ink from the inkwell, so it doesn't matter. You can run as many uninkwells as you want.
Even so, a 6/6 quest for 2 does nothing else. What do you actually want to play this for? I don't think you want to be paying more than 6 for it.
Yeah.
No, but can you imagine having 4 of these in hand and just slapping all 4 down at the same time?
I can imagine having 4 in my hand and not being able to slap a single thing down because I've got a completely brick.
No ink. Yeah. Well,
having this in hand and missing ramp. It's going to make missing ramp
but then once you get to 4, it's only an 8 cost.
I think she's going to be good for one thing only. She is getting T-Po'd more than any card in Disney Lorcana.
Yeah. So the other promo we have is a 3-cost uninkable, so slightly more playable, Timon. So he's a 2/3 quest for 1. His ability, when you play this character, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a non-character their choice. So another Mowgli, basically, here. Obviously, it's their choice, non-character, so pretty much a Mowgli, but it's for 3 cost instead of a 2, and uninkable. So I'm sure you just play Mowgli. Same colour.
Mowgli on 2, Timon on 3. Yes, non-character card of your choice, not their choice.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was their choice. Oh, okay.
So that's
stronger.
A big deal.
Yeah, I mean, but then Ursula's a 3-cost inkable, would she? No, 2-cost inkable, and does the same ability.
And you're giving them one more turn's chance
to
ink a card that would get sniped.
Yeah.
You're not sniping out any ramp cards because they've already had their chance to ramp.
Yeah.
Might sit in a discard. You need a payoff then for the discard. If you had something like a Prince John or something to give you a payoff for the discard, then you might stack a green-yellow deck with Ursula's, Mowgli's, and these.
Yeah, that's true. Again, linking back to possible Amber Emerald discard for Infinity. So, another discard card for that colour set. So, possible. The other two promos we have is the White Rabbit and Elsia. Is it Elsia?
Alyssa.
Elisa.
There we go.
Lisa.
So, this is a slight spoiler alert for me because I didn't realise she was a gargoyle.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. So I'm like on season 3 or something, and she isn't a gargoyle at that point. So yeah.
Spoiler alert, she is now. So
yeah,
we have.
if you haven't watched the whole all of the series of gargoyles, I get on and watch them just before there's any more spoilers.
I mean, it came out quite a while ago. I mean, I don't think we can really do a spoiler alert for that. I think that's well and truly past. But it was a spoiler for me. I didn't realise that one. So she has an ability, your character's strength can't be reduced below their printed value. I don't know how much this is going to come in. We do see the occasional thing that drops the strength down to play like Under the Sea or
Tiana.
something like that. That's a good point. No, because I'd have to look at the wording on Tiana because I think it's only on.
I mean, if so, that's a hard counter to Tiana, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a good counter for Tiana. Yeah. Ruby Amethyst. This could be pretty good. We've also, obviously, she's a gargoyle, so she has the ability Stone by Day. So if you have 3 or more cards in hand, she can't be readied.
Well, Ruby's got terrible card draw, so that's going to be fine.
Well, yeah. So, unless it's Ruby Amethyst, then you might be all right.
Yeah.
So the other card that we want to look at is the 2-cost White Rabbit, 2/2 cost 1. And here we see the confirmation that each colour has going to have an underdog. So we saw this on, I believe it's Lilo, I think, has this ability, which is if this is your first turn and you're not the first player, you pay 1 less to play this character. So he's a 2-cost, but on your first turn, if you're going second, you play it for 1. He's evasive.
The Hearthstone coin has come to Lorcana.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, Pegasus is a 1/1 evasive, so a 2/2 evasive. It's not too bad, I suppose. Did we have any White Rabbit shifts?
I like the idea of having something that just evens up that die roll disadvantage.
I love it. I think it is. It's something a lot of people have been crying out for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if this does it for Emerald. I mean, would be my only thing. As you say, Pegasus is a 1/1 anyway. What's the difference between a 1/1 and a 2/2?
It's like Vanellope's I suppose no, it's turn 2. So yeah, I don't know what other 1/1, what other turn 1 evasives there are. To be fair, there's a couple, but none of them are really that impactful. So,
well, evasive isn't a term they're giving out cheap these days since the invention of alert.
No, that is true.
I like it, and also I feel like from a design point of view, like I say, giving every colour an underdog thing, it's just a really great. Not locking this behind one particular colour, I think, is a really smart move on their part. Yeah,
be excited to see what the other abilities are. I can't remember what Lilo is now, but I don't think she's evasive. So there's a chance that Emerald have got that evasive. So is Blue going to be ramp? Is it a 1-cost ramp card? Are we going to get Ruby as a challenger card or a strength card? Or
do we mean the Angela?
Angel. Oh, Angel. Sorry, yes,
Angel.
It is
One
Angel,
of them.
not
One of
Lilo.
the 3.
Yeah.
Isn't that a singer? And that's Singer 3.
Yes, it's basically a Cindy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the last bits that were revealed on the Lawhouse was obviously the next set. So after Winterspell, we now have a release date for Wilds Unknown, which is pre-release on the 8th of May and the full release on the 15th of May. So yeah, Woody and Buzz. I'm so excited for this set. I mean, we've
I'm
got the set
buzzing
of
for
all
this
the
That's fantastic.
jumping around like you got a snake in your boot, eh? So we've got a little sneak preview of the packaging for this. Obviously, we have seen the pre-release box. We now also know there's a Super Goof playmat and
Merida.
that's the one. And the name was in my head, I just couldn't think of it. And we also have the 2-player starter deck. So no longer needing to pick up a 1-player one and realizing that you only got 60 cards and you can't play with someone else. So we now have the 2-player starter deck, which comes little deck box with cards you need, law counter and damage counters. So yeah, nice little boost to get you going.
Yeah, it looks good as well. I like the way they've done the packaging.
Also, Incredibles.
Yeah, we do. We have the Incredibles are confirmed. So we've got these are the couple of the promos from the thing. So the Buzz has a rainbow foil on out of this set, and the Incredibles are in there as well. So we won't go into too much on what all these cards are because it's a long way away yet. But yeah, they're confirmed. We also have Jack Jack as well, another Incredible. So we're assuming that the full set's going to be in there. I can't imagine you're just going to get Elastigirl and Jack Jack, but you know, they could surprise us.
I think they're proving with all these cards, or a lot of these cards that they're showing, especially as these Pixar, this Pixar IP has got such a strong resonance for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Some of these cards more so than a lot of the ones we've seen in the recent past. Have
yeah,
got
I
real
feel
gameplay
like
mechanics that suit the character, like especially Jack Jack. There, the fact that like Jack Jack as a character spontaneously transforms into some sort of superpower, you don't know which one, and his entire gameplay mechanic is you don't know what Jack Jack you're going to get each turn. I just think that's really smart and shows that everyone at Ravensburger, whether you're in the art team or the gameplay team, you care about the product and the IP.
yeah. To be honest, I hadn't actually read this card until this moment. So yeah, Jack Jack's is
So you pair this with our favourite Headless Horseman card and play a complete casino deck.
yeah. It's a good way to confuse your opponent, you see, because you don't know what's going on, they don't know what's going on, you know. So Jack Jack is at the start of your turn, you put the top card of your deck into your discard. If it's a character type, he gets +2 strength. If it's an action or item, he gets +2 law. And if it's a location, you banish chosen character. So yeah, like I say, that is typical for Jack Jack, really, and that really does read really well.
I think Pixar is going to bring quite a lot of new players into the game, which is just absolutely awesome. We're still so early on in this game, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. So yeah,
Well
really
said,
excited for what Pixar can bring to this.
Also, congrats to the sort of art direction, because it was always a big question in my head, is that when they bring in a franchise, bring in the world of Pixar, which has an iconic look to it, for them to manage to sort of make it consistent with the broader aesthetic of Lorcana.
Yeah.
They all fit in the same world. It
They
gives me
don't
confidence
look
that
out
they
of
could
place.
one day genuinely do like Pirates of the Caribbean or some of these like real live action stuff, and it not be too bad.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like you say, if you didn't know it's Pixar and just thought it was Disney, you wouldn't know the difference, if that makes sense.
Well, they also own the Alien and Predator franchises, so who knows? Maybe long enough into the future, we'll get that.
Yeah, I mean, watch out for that one. That we know that Q3 2026 is an Attack on Vine, but Q3 2036 is Alien versus Predator. We'll put that prediction in early. They're running out of ideas by that point. So we also know that obviously Monsters Inc. in 2026 on Q3 will be this one. So I think this is going to be May, June, July, August. So August, September-ish sort of time.
Mm-hmm. And up,
yeah. You got the up house and the balloons in the background.
Oh, I had not spotted that. That's tremendous.
Yeah. And I believe you've also got a tower to the right hand side.
Got a tower, yeah. Don't know what.
So
what it
yeah,
is.
there's a few there. You got a is that like a blimp in the middle, like a space
Yeah, above
thing?
Scully's head.
Yeah. So there's a few little hints in there. And then one I know Grandad Glenn's very excited for himself is Coco is coming in Q4 of 2026. Obviously, we don't know the name of this one yet, but yeah, Coco will be introduced as as part of the set. So this set will also be the next rotation. So Q4 of 2026 is the next rotation, and we'll be starting it off with Coco, where we lose 5 to 9, 5 to 8.
I don't think I'm quite ready to be playing Lorcana and sobbing all the way through my turns with a franchise as emotionally powerful as Coco.
Well, you say
Fabulous
that, you know,
films.
we haven't had Inside Out confirmed yet. You know, could that be coming? Talking about
Inside Out
emotions.
would be amazing. Inside Out would be awesome, right? Because talking to Tom's point earlier, the you know the theming that you can do with the mechanics and the card together for that would just be brilliant.
It could be a side part, so it could be they could turn up on Attack of Vines, or they could even be coming into the unknown. We don't know yet. Wildlands
Is there a
unknown.
Pixar franchise that is that? If I were to ask you if there's a Pixar franchise that hasn't been confirmed yet that you would want to be, would that be your answer? Inside Out.
I think that's a good one. I think that is a very, very strong choice. Outside of that, I'm not entirely sure. I'd probably have to look at what other ones there are. I'm terrible at distinguishing between them.
Mine would be
with
Cars.
Elio.
Yeah, see, I did think Cars.
Cars, because my grandson is 4 and he's absolutely mad on Disney Cars. So, 5 might be the right age to start getting him into this game. So if that coincides with his favourite franchise coming into the game and he can get some sort of shiny Lightning McQueen card, that might pull him in.
And maybe then the racer deck will be valid.
This is true. We've also got, just for people that are listening who wonder, a few that could turn up. You've got Wally, that's a Pixar. Inside Out, Luca. Obviously, you've got Buzz Lightyear as a standalone film, so there's a few characters in that could make an appearance. Onward. So yeah, there's quite a few. Turning Red obviously is confirmed. We know that's going to be in one of them. We don't know where, but that is. We've had pictures of that. And Brave, obviously, we're guessing is going to be in the one that's coming up. But yeah, there's quite a few. Elemental as well. That could work really well. I mean, all the colours are pretty much set out for you there, haven't they?
Yeah, Wally gets my vote. That'll be.
Yeah, Wally would be pretty good. Wally would be pretty good. So we don't want to keep you for all your evening. I say evening, it's, we won't talk about the time. But before you go, we would like your opinion as the first person to give your opinion live on the playoffs. So last week we obviously had Bucky versus Prince John. And as much as to, slightly upset about, Prince John did win. Prince John got the more votes on that one. I mean, Bucky, I'm not going to go off. No rant.
No one likes the squirrel.
Yeah, I feel like he should have been disqualified anyway. I don't think he was a valid entry.
Well, this week I'm coming back fighting. So this week we're going for the most powerful or best evasive card. So I've gone for Dumbo. Solid play. And you went for... Well, I mean, it's obvious what you went for, isn't it?
Yeah, he didn't really give me a choice. It's evasive. It's got to be the genie.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw this one coming a mile off. So I think my argument here is that Dumbo just makes all other evasives better. Should we just cut there and carry on?
Yeah, but Genie's got the immediate payoff, so you're immediately drawing that card on 4. Fits on curve with so many decks. Questing for 2. as well, and that stronger body. So
Yeah.
dumb.
But can he turn sideways and gain a law and draw a card?
You turn sideways and gain 2 law, having already drawn a
Yeah,
card.
but you can't draw a card though.
I
Yeah.
feel like having the privilege of casting the first vote on this monumentous playoff, and this is a big one. This is the one I feel like most engaged with of all the ones you've done so far. I feel like Dumbo is a brilliant card. There's a reason why people spent £40-50 for this card. It's a great card.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbo has literally, Genie has literally defined the tempo of this game for the last 6 months. He's that
Yeah.
4 willpower has defined everything people want to do and build their decks around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that. But I don't know. I just feel like Dumbo makes it all evasives better, so surely. that
it's
that
a
one
great Genie,
Pegasus
they
is
haven't had-
right, but with Dumbo, he's amazing.
The irony of that argument is that Genie's probably the one character you don't want to use the Dumbo activation on.
Depends on how badly you want to draw a card, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know in the comments below. And there will also be a picture of obviously this week's playoffs on our socials. You can leave a comment on those as well. So yeah, Dumbo versus Genie. I mean, that's definitely a battle, wasn't it? So they are our final slot in the top half of the playoff. One of those will be going through into the next round versus Prince John. So yeah. Next week, we will be going back to Hades versus Gogo, but we'll come up with a topic on why they're battling. But for now, it's Genie versus Dumbo. So let us know, who do you think is going to sneak that space on the next round with Prince John?
Thank you for joining us, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's been a longer one this week. We've certainly enjoyed it, so thank you for Tom for coming on. It's been a great episode, but if you are still with us, we massively appreciate the fact that you've stayed with us. Do drop in the comments to let us know that you were here at the end. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do consider subscribing. And just thank you for joining us. Anything else from yourself, FPS?
No, I think we're all done. So yeah, as always, it's time to roll up that playmat.
Pack away the dice.
Remember,
stay uninkable. Oh.
Okay, get in and join in with us. See you next time.